Hello, my convicts and convicts. Yes, it is I, the Convict, bringing you guys and gals a video. So today in the video is going to be a bit of a tech one. So without further ado, let's get straight to it. And here we go. So this is going to be a particularly maybe a quite quick video right now, but I really wanted to kind of point this out. Big shout out and salute to Jay's 2 cents. He doesn't need my shout out, but he's a cool guy, someone I do follow. I will link him in the description below. Definitely check him out if you are into such as like GPU, CPU, computer building, anything of that nature. Then Jay's 2 cents is really cool. He also did a really good video on this as well. I kind of wanted to reiterate because, as you all know, I am a small YouTuber, streamer, whatever you want to call it. Anyway, even though we are on 2,400 subscribers, which is mind blowing, and thank you very much. Thank you to all those who have subscribed. I appreciate you. I'm still classed as a small. When I kind of get to that kind of notch of being bigger, would be around probably like the 100,000 mark. Obviously, we are like decades away from that. So, you know, it is what it is. But I still class myself as a small streamer, as obviously most people will find me regarding content than they would do to actually search and look for me by pure name. Anyway, so the particular item I want to talk about today is this. It's a fan control v111 user config.json. It's actually being designed by a small solo person, I believe. They've not got no. They're not like a big person or anything like that. It's called Remy Mercier, and he's the one that's actually designed this whole thing. Now, what this basically does is it allows you to control the fans within your case, so you can actually control them individually. It has a lot more customization, so such as like MSI Afterburner, which you can control the temps yourself and do some of the things here. This does have more customization to it, where you can actually go that little bit further. So as you can see here, I've got my CPU Ryzen 5 fan here, and you can see I've got the curve under mix. And if you look down here, I've got an actual tab that's called mix, and it's got the function at max. So it means that when it hits max, obviously what does it need to do? And what it's doing here is actually controlling the CPU and GPU temps dependent on what the item is that's higher than the other. So if the CPU were to exceed 50% of the GPU temps here, then this fan curve would change to the CPU fan curve. And these are the two curves here. So we've got the CPU temp, which you can see it's running at 37 degrees. And then you've got the GPU, which is running at 33 degrees on there. So what this basically does is it will keep an eye on both of these items here. And because the way I've added them into the mix, it will obviously always go for the one that needs the most most cooling, or to help obviously bring cooling down on both. So if you've ever had that situation in your life where you're changing the curves, you're having to constantly manually change them yourself, this program is absolutely phenomenal, because what it basically means is you never have to do anything ever again. You can just basically put this in and let it do what it needs to do, and it will automatically change the fans for you without you even having to touch anything. Now, the only problem I have here with my specific case, which I am looking at to changing in the future, you'll notice I've got no case fans. Now, I do have case fans, but my case fans are actually controlled a little bit different to what normal people would do, which is to use the 4-pin header on the motherboard, which I do want to do, because when I bought my fans, I didn't think about it at the time. I just bought some fans just as a placeholder. But the fans that I have can't be changed, so the speed of the fans can't be changed at all. They're just one constant speed all the time, and it's controlled by a I can't remember what you call them, like a MOLED, the old style power that goes into like a MOLED or something, whatever it's called. And they're basically then connected to a little box that has all the little pin headers, but they're not the 4-pin headers that you would normally get, obviously, on a board. So I need to buy some new fans to obviously incorporate into my build so that I can control the case fans as well as obviously CPU and GPU fans, which I do need to do in the future. So the only thing I can control here at the moment, unfortunately, is my CPU and GPU temps, because I can change those two fan curves to based on this. And this program is absolutely free. I'll put it in the description below so you can go and have a look at it yourself. You can literally go into it and you can customize each and every single fan you've got inside your case. And that is absolutely insane. You can even click, you can name it and say what you want. So I could just put CPU Ryzen 5 and then save that on there. If you click on the three dots here, you can manually control, you can hide it, you can move the paired speed sensor, you can pair speed sensor automatically, detect fan start automatically, detect fan stop automatically. You can go here and choose which curve you want. So if you've made an independent curve and you want to keep it just to the curve you set, you can change it to CPU or GPU, depending obviously what it is. Or you can do what I've done here, which is obviously done the mixed curve, which means that it's added these two curves. So if one curve goes above the other, so you can see this one's at 50% for GPU, which is why the GPU is the one that's up here. If this one goes above 50%, then it would swap over to the CPU down here as well. And that's how it would do. It keeps on swapping and changing, balancing on what it's doing. So if I'm playing such as like Warzone, then obviously it'll be the CPU temp it probably will be more at, and it will speed up dependent on this graph here, which I've copied the same graph I got from Jay's 2 cents here. And you can see it starts at 40%, then goes up here, then it'll ramp up to 60, then up here to in the 90s, and then obviously the top. Just make sure you put the max temp and you set that to 100 for the CPU, because you don't want I think it defaults to 120 degrees. You don't want it to go above 120. I don't think these CPUs would probably manage to do it, and you probably end up crashing. So I've just put it to 100%, and for the GPU I put that to 80% on there as well, just to keep the temperatures down, because generally, again, like Jay says, if it's above 80, you're going to be probably looking into the crashing period where it's just going to all out crash anyway, so you don't really want to do that. So just looking at this graph here, you can actually click. If you click, you make extra points. If you right click, you can delete those extra points. I'm just going to leave it as this because this is how I've got it here. So if you want to follow this and do the same, I just eyeballed it. I didn't really go individually to like look at his exact temperatures. I just eyeballed to where he put his and put it in the same area. You can also go up here and you can select, and as you can see, when you click on this, it actually tells you everything that's inside my case right now. So you can see I've got the NVIDIA RTX 3060 Ti. You can see that I've got the temperatures here, and it's telling you the temperature of the motherboard. This is the motherboard. This is the temperature of the Evo. That's inside my case, the NVMe drive. You can also see the temperature of my my SSD drive as well, which is there as well, and this is my Ryzen. You can actually control all the certain temperatures within your case. So if you've got anything in your case that you can cool with fans and stuff, you can actually put them into the mix and add a temperature so that the fans will speed up or slow down depending on what temperature that specific item's at. And if you've noticed as well, you won't have this tick to beginning. Got hysteresis. Only applies on the way down. Now Jay said to do this, and I've done this myself, and added a 5-second response time. You can change the response time of how fast or how slow you want the fans to start up and to stop, sort of thing. So the way this is working in the moment that Jay says is to take the hysteresis and then to put it on 5 seconds. So what that means is that when the fans kick up and it's going at a high temperature, say it's gone up to here where it says 60%, then it will ramp up. But when that drops below that temperature, the fans won't just instantly go and stop or slow down straight away. It'll actually run for so long, and then eventually it will then start to ramp down. That's what the hysteresis, and that's why I've got it as a 5-second response. so that it takes a gradual time. So any heat that still remains within the case, because obviously if it's got hot, it's going to have that heat in there for a period of time. You're going to want that fan to still continue, and then eventually start to come down as the whole thing starts to cool. The whole part, internal parts of your PC start to cool. You want the fan to start to come down at that point. I've also done this same for the GPU as well. On there, I've not changed anything on here because he didn't say about the hysteresis and response time. I might do something similar to what he's done there and just put down maybe like 5 seconds. Oh, I'm changing that. I don't want to change that. Put that back to 2. We delete that. Put that back to 2. It's that one. I want that to be at least 5 seconds. Why is it changing? I want that to be 5. And I want you to be 2. But as you can see, we've got here the temperature set at 85 on here, because you don't need to go too high with it. You don't need to go up into the 80s or 90s or anything like that. So the max temp is on there is 85 degrees, which is probably what Jay said, not what I said, 80. So around 80, 85. And then just make sure, if you want to save the configuration, that you save the configuration, because it will not automatically save. So you have to do it manually each time. So make sure you just do that. Otherwise, you'll end up deleting everything that you've just done on here will then be reverted back to its original settings. And you really don't want that to happen. There's also these extra features here as well, which you've got step up, step down. You've got start up, stop, offset and stuff. Jay didn't really go into too much in regards to temperatures, and I don't really know too much on that area, which is why I'm going to link Jay in the description below in regards to that. But I definitely recommend you trying out this program. It's absolutely free, like I said, and you can donate to this guy as well. And I would recommend donating. I'm looking at probably giving him a small donation when I get paid on Friday, just this, just so that I can continue. Jay actually donated $500 to this guy. So if he's willing to donate $500 to a guy who's done this program, then it just says itself, doesn't it? It just sells itself that obviously if he's willing to spend that much money on a guy he doesn't know, who's a very small person, and is a small creator, then that's absolutely insane. That a big creator would look upon someone so small and go, "Yeah, I'm going to drop him $500." Just there you go, bro. So that's pretty insane. There's also the custom things you can do over here. You can donate over here as well. You can show hidden fans. You can hide fan speed cards. You can start minimize and start with Windows, which is what I've selected. 30-second delay, so when it starts up, it will not start straight away. You can put in the display icon as well. So if I was to close this program and go down here to the bottom, I can actually see the temperature still of what the fan is doing. So it's at 30, it's 38 on there. So you can actually just monitor the whole thing. Then just all you need to do is right click and open if you want to bring it back up. Simple as that. But yeah, I definitely recommend it. So this is just going to be a small video just to kind of point out this. I definitely recommend you doing this. If you have problems with temperatures or you're constantly having to change your temperatures or anything like that, even for like overclocking, this would be really cool because you can obviously set this to help you out with overclocking so that the fan speed changes, and you can obviously change it, or you can set it to a set speed, and then eventually once you've done it, dial in where you want the temperatures to be and add like a mix, so you could really stress test the limits of PCs. And there is a lot of other features as well that you can do in here. You can like do the auto, so it will automatically do it for you. You can add a sync fan curve, you can add mixed fan curves, a flat fan curve, a target fan curve, so you can put a target of, I don't want to exceed this temperature. Add a graph, which is what these two are here. These are graph ones, which I followed Jay's 2 cents. There's an add a linear fan curve. You've got an add mix custom sensor, the time average custom sensor, and a custom sensor as well, which I'm not 100% on obviously what those are in terms of that. You can click on setup here and you can do assisted setup, which will actually assist you. You've got pair controls and speed automatically detect, fan start automatically, stop automatically, and identify fans, so you can identify them as well. And it'll scan the whole of your computer, like I said, and it'll tell you everything that's inside your case. As you can see, I've got a few fans that are here, and then you've got the GeForce. This is through the assisted that it's actually showing up these fans on the CPU. I believe it's doing it through either the NVIDIA or the MSI Afterburner, and it's taken over and obviously blanked them out. You can't change them. And these ones, obviously, that you can see here are the ones that I'm currently using at the moment, which I'm going to continue to use from now on. And obviously keep an eye on temperatures, because like even now, my temperatures are actually pretty good. As you can see, I'm on 33 for the GPU, which is really cool, and then 37 for the CPU, which is again very cold. So these are running, just how I needed them to run to make sure and ensure that my PC stays cool at all times and performs the best that it can. And I don't have to even worry about it anymore. I can just get on with what I need to do and not have to worry, because these are obviously going to look, and like I said, the mix here is going to look at these two, the CPU and GPU temps, and it's going to change this and the fans automatically to match whichever one on here that it needs to. So if the GPU starts to get very, very hot, then the mix temps is going to automatically swap over to the GPU temps to make sure that both of them run a lot higher in order to bring and keep and maintain the temperatures down. And then if the CPU starts to get hot, such as like playing Warzone, then again the GPU and CPU is going to run the same pair to obviously keep those temperatures down and keep your case very, very cold. So just to quickly show you where it is, just in case, if you go over here to GitHub, it's, as you can see here, you just go to fan control, GitHub fan control. You can find it here. I will, like I said, put this down in the description below so you can find it. Just go here and you basically just go to get the code, and you can see here there's a download zip. Click on download zip or open with GitHub desktop, whichever you want to do. I did it through download zip. Download the zip, you open the zip, and then all you do is you go here, and I should have it, I believe, in downloads. Yeah, it's here. Then you unzip it, open the file here, and then you just basically go to the updater.exe, and then you click on that, and it'll open up the actual thing. Or you can go here to fan control exe actually, because that's the updater. Just go here to fan control.exe. I actually did press the updater.exe and it still opened anyway, but it's the fan control exe. That's the one that you want. It didn't show me that before because I had it minimized and it wasn't showing that at the time that I did it, so I don't know why, but there you go. Anyway, so go to the fan control.exe, click on that, and it'll actually start up the program. It'll then run you through like a little procedure. Just read the notes, copy, just look at what it's telling you, go into it, and then obviously check it out. And I'll link the video that Jay's 2 cents did that I copied here in order to do the mix and everything. And he goes into descriptive about what you want does, what you need to do, what he would suggest, and so on and so forth. Anyway, hopefully enjoyed this quick little tutorial. I wanted to get it out there because Jay talked about it, and I'm a big fan of Jay's 2 cents. We salute you. Thank you, Jay. And obviously this program is really worth having. Having this will make a big change. Obviously there's other programs out there like MSI and stuff and things like that where you can kind of do that. But the fact that this has so much customization and so much more headroom for doing even more would be insane. And just the fact that this guy is a small content creator, I think deserves to be looked at. And obviously, if you have the ability, even just $1, that's all you need to do is just send just $1. If 10 people say send $1, that's $10. $1 is not a great deal. Like I said, I'll do a small donation on Friday. Nothing big. I might just send him £5. Um, obviously to help him continue what he does and to work on this particular lovely little free application. Anyway, it is I, Convict, signing out. As always, I salute you, my convicts and convicts, and yes, I'll see you in another video. Bye for now.